Okay, David. Yeah, no rest for us. Let's start bringing some guests in, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we've got an amazing panel, and this is a panel that David suggested. And the reason is, David, because we just think that it's needed, isn't it? We just need to have more good news going out there.
Yeah.
Well, let me add Isabel, who's there.
Hello, I'm back.
Welcome back. Let me bring Dame Doria Cordova.
Yes.
And there's Jim Poole.
Jim Poole, Mr. Poole. All right, good.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for being here. David, I'm going to let you host it, but welcome, Jim. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And Doria, well, listen, you're pretty much everywhere. You wanted to be in the Tough Love panel, I heard as well, but
I did. I'm famous for that. Most of you don't know that, but I'm the Tough Love queen.
Okay, David, take the floor.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, we were hoping to have Mo Rock on here too, so we'll see where he's at as well. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to, we're attacking, how do you like that? Attacking love from all these different angles. But one of the things that we wanted to talk about is people putting out some good in the world, good media, good platforms, good messages. And sometimes the goodness doesn't always make the news, right? There's a saying in news that, if it bleeds, it leads. I know it's a terrible saying, but it's true in the news and media. They say, if it bleeds, it leads, right? That's kind of what they want. Well, why does the news and media do that? I'm going to cut them a little bit of slack. The reason why is because that's what typically gets watched and viewed and discussed. And so, as the world changes what it wants, people kind of change what they put out. But what if we did it the other way? What if we just, changed what we put out and so people could enjoy it? And nothing has been needed more over the last couple of years than, good news, good vibes, good messages. And so, we've had Isabel on and Doria on, and we're going to get to all of you, but this is the first time we've had Jim up. So, Jim, I'm going to come to you first. You are a part owner and all in on the NeuCom neurotechnology patented program. And everybody from Tony Robbins talks about it, right? He just wrote his book Life Force, and he talks about NeuCom, and Jim Quick, a good friend of, Doria's and other people on here like Bernardo. But you're putting a lot of good out in the world with NeuCom. Maybe tell everybody a little bit about what NeuCom is, who maybe haven't heard of it yet.
Awesome. Thank you. Good. Putting good into the world. Well, you bring up a great point. The media follows the economic path because they have to make money to stay in business. We get that. What many of us don't get is that it seems like we're watching a train wreck, but when you use fear mongering, you are eliciting a 40 million year part of our brain. So fear supersedes over every other emotion except for hope. And doing stories based on hope take time. But I can elicit a response from you, from your amygdala and your fear response in a nanosecond. So that's kind of the trap that we're in. So the good and bringing good. Well, we are bringing good through science, through the physical side, through vibration, through frequency. And the whole path of what we do is really simple to understand. We are down regulating or guiding your brainwave function into a state that is commensurate with calm, peace of mind, relaxation. So you could look at our technology and say, wow, okay, that's hardcore left brain neuroscience, but it plays in the right brain and it plays in the meditation aspect of the world too. We are simply down regulating the human stress response and allowing you to be liberated from this reptilian part of our brain that's really greedy. It takes a lot of our resources. And when we are liberated from that, we actually have access to our awareness, our self-awareness, our patience, our presence, our character, our personality, our joy, things that we like to do. We wake up every morning and the first thing that arises when our eyes open is the amygdala. And the amygdala is the kind of champion of our entire reptilian primordial midbrain. And it's looking for all the holes you're going to step in today, all the fires you're going to have to put out. Instead of saying, hey, today's going to be an amazing day. We're going to be at the love event and people are going to love talking about love and all these amazing things are going to happen. It doesn't work that way. So we have been bringing very advanced science to help most human beings that can't downregulate themselves. It is a known fact, self-evident to all of us, that meditation is very hard. The physiological benefit and long-term effect of meditation is amazing, but the process to get there is really difficult. This technology uses biochemistry and physics to guide your brainwave function into alpha and theta and simply slow you down, much like the opposite of caffeine. You know, you wake up in the morning and you're mentally lethargic and you have a glass of coffee and you're like, whoa, I'm feeling good. Well, it's not magic. It simply increases the frequency of your brain. We are going to decrease the frequency of your brain into alpha, which is 12 hertz to 8 hertz, a certain frequency. And that's commensurate with creativity, being in the zone, being relaxed, and transcendental meditation. But then we go slower. We go into theta, and theta is known as the healing zone, because in that state of lucid dreaming, your body is fully oxygenating, your cells are cleaning their toxins out and doing their cellular maintenance, and your mitochondria is being restored. So this is also synonymous with the second stage of sleep. So we are basically using science to mimic how we used to relax and how we used to live a far more balanced life. That's what we're doing, David.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's doing a lot of good. I know that, you know, you're helping military veterans, you know, cancer patients. I mean, everything from professional athletes to stay-at-home moms. I'm definitely going to come back to you here in a second. Doria, there's a lot of things that you can talk about and focus on. You know, you are a wealth expert. You are redefining wealth. There are lots of ways that you talk about money and you. But you've spent a lot of your time and resources with the Ho'oponopono, I like to say it wrong so you can correct me. But you know, you every week you're kind of doing this, and you're using this platform to kind of get the good out and kind of heal the world. Tell everybody a little bit about the magic of this phrase, this Hawaiian term.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so funny because I am known about entrepreneurship and, you know, and just creating, you know, a whole new paradigm of having money do good. And the wind between the wind beneath my wings is actually the work that Jim was just talking about, because I have been a meditator, transcendental meditation for the last 13 years, almost 14 years. Have never missed it. Twice a day for me is like brushing my teeth. Meditation is key for me. And also doing prayers like Ho'oponopono. That is a beautiful Hawaiian tradition, and that is about making things right. And this beautiful woman by the name of Morna Simeona in the late 60s and 70s put it into a very simple prayer where it's about aligning the inner family. And it's all related to what Jim started to bring up, which is to really begin to get our nervous system to begin to slow down and to not be so at the effect and our reptilian mind constantly reacting. So the Ho'oponopono prayer is something that I have been doing since November 1984. And it's all about just aligning the inner family, letting go of upsets, resentments, and hurts, and allowing ourselves to be more receptive to success, to wealth, to peace, to love, and to being more understanding of other humans. I think all the work that we all do around this is around being able to just understand that we're all in the process of making mistakes, that life is about making mistakes. So making ourselves wrong about making any mistakes any day, it just brings up our inability to be able to think straight. So all of these beautiful things and the experiential trainings that we do at Money and You is also about getting people to become aware of their own blocks, their consciousness, and then making new decisions.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Doria. Thank you. Yeah. I'm going to come back to you and we'll talk about some other thought leaders from the path, like Marshall Thorogood and some of these people that, you know, have been promoting these positive messages. Isabel, let me jump over to you. You know, you've had a magazine for years now. You've done really well with that magazine. You've even helped other people, you know, launch magazines. how are you choosing your people or choosing your messages or stories to kind of promote good? I know that that's a focus for you. So how do you kind of go about that or leverage that?
Yeah, the ideal people for Top Talent Magazine are those that are servant leaders, people that have exceptional talent that are doing true good in the world. People like Doria that actually has her own edition of Top Talent Magazine. But several clients of ours as well have been featured inside of it because they have shown that not only are they doing good, but they are truly servant leaders. They serve from the heart, and they want to continually see positivity reflected in the world. One of those being, I use an example, Rose Santiago. Not only do we do a book for her, Live Your True Essence, but inside of her article, she talks about how her holistic practices have truly helped not only individuals, but families, children, and seeing wonderful results because she implemented those things herself as a woman who is mostly blind. She's still making a huge and impactful difference. But that's just one example of the kinds of people that you can expect to see inside of Top Talent Magazine that I strive and look for to have them, be discussed and to put into the front running.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we're talking about is how do we use our platforms to promote good? How do we use our platforms? Sure, there's money and there's metrics and we have people that work for us and, we've got to be productive members of society, but there is this giving back and sharing our resources. And it's not just our time and our money, but it's our platforms, right? It's our social media platforms. It's our shows, it's our magazines, it's our events, right? So here Bernardo is, putting an event that provides people a chance to, share that voice. Bernardo, did you come back on to say something important or?
No, I was part of the panel.
Oh, okay. You're part of the panel. That's what I was going to say. Well, and so that's my transition to you then is this event and, you've had your own magazine yourself. So, you're best known for your Best You Expos that are spreading love and good in its own way. But, you had this vision of saying, hey, David, what do you think of doing an event that we literally call the Love Event? And thinking about all the time and money and man hours. And I mean, this is okay, but this is probably, this is not going to be your big money maker, right? This is your contribution to society. And so I kind of tip my hat to you. So why did you decide to spend so much of your resources and energy and refuse hours of sleep at night just to do this?
That's a great question. I have no answer.
Fair. That's fair.
Next question, please. No,
next question, please.
The thing is, David, is that this was an event that was obviously very close to my heart. It isn't and has never been a moneymaker, and but it's just one of those things that once you put your head behind it, and obviously this is an event that comes from the heart, and I love that you jumped on it straight away. You didn't even have to think about it. I said, I think it was just one of those random conversations. We were talking about doing stuff together. And I said, I got this idea about doing this Love Event. He said, I love it. So the thing is that it's just because it's needed, I keep seeing and identifying and meeting and connecting with so many great speakers, but a lot of them are missing the point. They're missing the point that we need to bring kindness. We need to talk more about love. We need to be talking about deeper things and how I can help you, get a book deal, or how I can help you, make six figures, when you go next on stage, and all these with love, things that just don't necessarily help or change the world.
Yeah.
Whatever we do, whatever we're doing, whatever we're trying to achieve in the world has to be part of the process of helping others, and bringing love to the forefront, bring love to the forefront. So, what I'm looking for with the Love Event is just to simply find ways for us to be able to connect and to have deeper conversations around love. But to a degree, David, these conversations are really important. And for someone that has had 15,000 people attending an event, with 180 speakers and a lot of stress and potentially, yes, making some money, this has been, to a degree, and I'll be honest with you, a slight disappointment. And I'm saying is because I would have expected tens of thousands of people to be interested in this conversation. I would be tens, but as you said, because It's not sensational. Now people are finding that they're finding excuses or reasons to not be here today or not listen. Hey, hopefully they'll listen to the recordings. But the bottom line is there isn't a more important conversation than how we can become better humans and how we can elevate our consciousness. And it's all, to a degree with all the things that we're all talking and we're all contributing at this event. So look, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, we'll keep at it and we'll keep going and we'll keep going because we can never stop. We can never give up. So yes. Anyway, we've got Mo here. I'm going to bring him in.
Okay, sounds good. Mo Rock of the Los Angeles Tribune. I'm going to be with you in just a second here. I want to jump over to Jim Poole real quick. And at the risk of putting the answer in the question here, Jim, Newcom started off as a very expensive product, thousands, maybe even tens of thousands, depending on how much and how often you want to use it. It was used by celebrities, celebrity doctors. It was used by professional athletes, Golden State Warriors, NHL, Blackhawks. I mean, really big. And you went and brought it down kind of to the everyday person. And I know that everybody from stay-at-home moms to cancer patients to military, are using this. And I don't know, I guess I just want you to speak to where you want to take Newcom in the future and why you decided to take it out of the, bigger dollars, if you will, into maybe the masses and the general public. Was that really a good business decision for you? Maybe it is, but talk about the new direction you're taking Newcom.
Lowering your price 99% in COVID with not enough money to have a runway to do that is not a good idea. But, when the neuroscientists who invented Newcom, when you gain an understanding of the complexity of the brain and the power of this solution, you have an inherent obligation and a responsibility to get this to the masses. And to Bernardo's point, love should be a really attractive offering. And the point really is this: we are all far too stressed. The energy pattern is between our ears, and the energy pattern is through fear, stress, anxiety, depression, worry, and the media and the toxic environment. And this, I was on Indiana University campus this week trying to bring this to the kids. Think about back to school. Think about all the excitement that a college campus in the fall used to bring to us. This is probably the first generation where our kids are growing up in a worse environment than we had. It's disgusting. So we have to do something. Now, selling a $6,000 medical device to the military and professional athletes and doctors, yes. Is there a business model to be had? And yes. Could we have been very, very popular and very successful and very wealthy? Yes. That's not what we're here to do. There's many ways to make money. When you can liberate a human being who has stage 4 cancer and all their energy is based on fear, and you can liberate that and allow the body's immune system and resilience to improve, when you can work with the FBI and you can work with special forces operators to take a very high reactionary type of lifestyle. They don't choose who's going to rob a bank or take a hostage. It's all constant foot on the accelerator. When you go to the police force today and you see the attrition, you see the suicide, you see the drugs and alcoholism, you see the third families, it's not right. We have to find a way to down-regulate that stress, balance the autonomic nervous system to allow accessibility to love. So for us, it was a 6-year journey of invention because we were obligated, because we had a very advanced stimulation device that was brain science. We were a FDA class 3 medical device. Okay, that's a euphemism for really expensive. That wasn't the goal. So once we liberated ourselves from that, we went on this path and COVID did not stop us. We went from 8,000 customers selling a $6,000 device to 90,000 selling a subscription model that you can now access our tech for $1.37 a day. It wasn't intention like, hey, I wonder if this business model is going to work. I never woke up one day thinking about that. It's our obligation, and we are here to liberate humans from that stress response. And if there's one thing I can contribute to this audience, stop judging yourselves and stop being so hard on yourself. You are literally behaving the way your neuronal circuitry is developed. There's a 40 million year reptile brain in your head and a 4 million year prefrontal cortex. Oxygen, taking a break, reflection, sleep, rest. You have to start making that important. Otherwise, stress is going to manage you, and you're never going to get to a place where you're liberated and you actually feel good about yourself. So that's why we're doing this.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to go over to Mo Rock. I'll come to you, Dame Doria, here just 1 second. But Mo, you know a bunch of us on here. Good to have you on. It's funny. I really kind of met you and Doria about the same time, 2015, 2016. It's fun to kind of think back to that journey. But, you know, you play a massive role in the Los Angeles Tribune, a leadership role, an ownership role. And I'm kind of curious, what responsibility, if any at all, do you feel to kind of put out good in the world and to kind of cover the good stories? You got a news platform that was established in 1886. And I definitely feel like I already know the answer to that, but I want to set you up to kind of tell everybody listening.
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure and privilege to be here. Thank you for having me. I was listening to Bernardo and listening to Jim, and it's an honor to be among such thought leaders. To me, you know, David, I'll get a little esoteric here today on the panel and say that when I heard about the Love Event and when we're discussing the Love Event, to me, I don't really see too much of a distinction between the words love and God, right? And so when we talk about whatever the work is, whether it's in the media, which today we're specifically talking about, or whether it's the work that Jim is doing, I think helping people have peace of mind and helping people come together, to me, is a way to express love, right? And so I think that is God's work, to get just a little esoteric, if I may, today. And so whatever that may mean for you out there individually. And so I really see a lot of the work that the folks on this panel do as sacred work, whether it's the work that Dame Doria Cordova does, whether it's Jim Poole and the work at Newcom in introducing this kind of technology to the masses and giving everyday average people who need peace of mind an opportunity to have that. Whether it is the work of Top Talent Agency and their ability to help folks get their important messages out there to the world. And of course, Bernardo, who in my view is really somebody that deserves a lot of credit in the world of media for being basically one of the pioneers of somebody that for years now has championed positivity and love, not just through this event, but through a lot of other work that he's done in terms of media. And so for us, David, we're in a unique position because we're classified as a legacy brand. We're one of the few national brands that have the kind of history associated with it that are still independently owned. We haven't been swallowed up by one of the big conglomerates. And so we're very proud of that, because what it allows us to do is it allows us to steer into the direction that we want. And so it gives us the opportunity to collaborate with folks that we believe are doing incredible things on the planet. And so hopefully that's a satisfactory answer. Yeah. I see you put me up here on the solo screen. I'd prefer to have my friends with me here. But yeah, hopefully that's a satisfactory answer. And it's a pleasure to be here.
Very sad. No, I'm very thankful to you, and the people that I work with are very thankful to you, because you know, you have your own personal passion for personal development and self-improvement. And so, you know, you've taken, you know, the power that you have through such a reputable brand like the Los Angeles Tribune, and you've said, hey, look, you know, I'm going to make my presence felt here. You know, we're going to make sure that, you know, this kind of news gets covered. So thank you. I'll come back to you. I want to shoot over to you, Doria. You know, I kind of left off with talking about some of the leaders that you've worked with and the good messages that they've had. And sometimes part of us putting love in the world, positivity in the world, which, you know, kind of gets a little bit oversaid, or we become a little bit, you know, callous to, is really important. And part of that comes from just keeping the legacy going. And you've done an amazing job at, you know, not just encompassing, the work you've been around into your own, but really giving credit to people like Marshall Thurgood and, you know, Jim Rohn and some of these other people. So, you know, maybe share some of who your mentors are, that you're continuing their legacy because they had a legacy of love and positivity. Oh, you're muted there.
Sorry, Marshall Thurber and Bobby DePorter were the people that created literally the industry of transformational experiential entrepreneurial trainings, right? And one of the things that we learned from the Buckminster Fullers of the world, and Buckminster Fuller was pure love, but this is the thing, we didn't talk about it. He has a quota of love, but he hardly ever spoke about it that way, because humans immediately think that they know what love is. And we all know that true love is love in action. So, you know, and then we have people like Ilya Prigogine that won the Nobel Prize, you know, for the theory of dissipative structures, which has to do with explaining perturbation into the world. And that was a physics. He actually won a Nobel Prize in chemistry in 1977. And what we do in our programs, we have learned how to quote unquote trick human beings. What we have a thing called money and you. And people keep saying, you know, that's not quite what we do here. And people do get very clear about money. People do get very wealthy from using the principles. But we literally have to trick people because we apply generalized principles that are true in nature and use science the way that Jim has been speaking about, and all of us actually use in many ways. And then we have to go ahead and kind of trick people into, you're going to make a lot more money, you're going to get wealthy, you're going to be doing this and that. And whenever from 1978, we have wanted to talk about love in action. We wanted to talk about love in business. And it was highly recommended that we don't do that. So it's a very interesting thing what our beautiful Bernardo was talking about, because when I did reach out to many of my leader friends, oh yeah, we know about love. Oh yeah, we know about love. The thing is though, that there is a lot of people that don't know that. They go for the wrong things. So, you know, the billionaires that do a program called Money and You come out and go, oh my God, all I ever wanted to do was have love. All I wanted to do was be forgiven. All I wanted to do is be loved by my children and my family. And all that money in the world did not help. And what they really wanted was love.
Yeah. We're kind of told in Marketing 101, we kind of have to promote what people want and give them what they need. And you have brilliantly for decades said, hey, money and you, money and you. And people get into money and you and they start realizing, oh, it's not really about the money. You know, it's about something else. It's about something more. And sure, money's a part of it, but it's energy, right? It's energy. Let me
the tools. We give them the tools to make tons of money. And we have had, you know, I mean, Tony Robbins probably, when he did Money and You in 1983, he was very interested in the money part. He didn't have any. But at the time, but then he realized that if he focused on his purpose, if he focused on something much greater than him, and look what he has done. And he's not the only one. He's just one of the famous ones. But it's about love.
Let me switch over. Last comment to Isabel here. I cut her short on the last panel with no last word. But Isabel, you are one of the Money and You graduates and students of Doria. And I just wanted you to speak real quick to magazines. Not only do you do one, but you've helped other people do one. But maybe just speak to the power of that. And Bernardo, you cut her off whenever you want. Whenever you feel so good, you cut her short. Go ahead, Isabel.
Yeah, it's great to write books. You're able to share your insight and do more with your knowledge and able to replicate and get into other people's hands. But something that might be a little bit better is having your own magazine, whether it's digital and even eventually turn that into a print format. That way you're able to really give a platform to the people, not only that are directly your clients, but individuals that you truly feel that need to be spotlighted more often than not, because there are so many opportunities out there, and you could be one of those people that can help them do just that, regardless of who it is exactly that they're trying to help, because what we all are centered in on is love and service. some people that we have gotten to help with digital magazines outside of Top Talent Magazine is the Los Angeles Tribune and a few others. And it is absolutely amazing the content that comes out, not only just generally in the world, but also in our own communities, to really spotlight and impact and implement and put right in front of your face the kinds of changes and opportunities that are available to you.
Yeah, Matt, it's great being a best-selling author, but imagine being editor-in-chief of your own magazine where you can put out columns and have columnists and, if you have a column. So, yeah, Isabel, you've done a great job with that. But this panel was on the good media movement and the good messages in the world and how people are using their platforms. So I wanted to kind of end with that. Go ahead, Bernardo, take it away.
Yeah, I just wanted to add the comment. Doria was saying that I invited a lot of people, and a lot of people kind of, hey, I know everything about love. The thing is I ultimately know because we're all I always share this fact that our reality is our mortality. So we're all going to end there, and when we end there, we're all going to want the same things. We're going to want to be surrounded by people that love us, and we hopefully have done something to leave the world in a better place, not, packed and with regrets. So I think with these kind of things and a lot of the things that we're doing, and, based on what Jim's saying, that, we've had millions and millions of years of, with our brain, being tuned into fear. I think we have to change. We have to change, the reality that is out there now. I mean, part of my talk I'm going to be talking about tomorrow is the fact that there's too much tension, there's too much division, there's too much stress, there's too much about what makes us different instead of what brings us together, which is this whole idea of this event, which is the whole idea of life in general. So yes, you know what? People don't get it, but that's what happens. Sometimes at the beginning, people simply don't get it. And I really believe in that. I believe in the build it and they will come, because it's happened. It's happened in life. And all of a sudden they say, oh my God, that was, it just came out of nowhere. No, it didn't. I've been working at this for 10, 15 years. People, oh no, where did that come from? Well, work, work and just keep at it and keep at it and keep at it. So when I said to you for the first time, this is the one of many love events, I mean it. I don't care if only 2 or 3 or 4,000 people showed up. I don't care. We'll be doing it again next year and the following year and the following year. Because as long as we've got people like yourselves, and there's people that believe in the same story, that love is important, kindness, caring, as long as we start spreading that, because we have to, because the world needs it. There's never been a more important time for us to do what we're doing. So we just have to keep at it. Okay.
Yeah. Bernardo, you're a 30-year overnight success.
Yes.
Overnight success. Way to
Good
go.
things come to those who are super passionate and super consistent.
Yes. And may I just say, and this is the event where we get to see David Fagan with a purple aura the whole time. I am so proud of you.
Purple, blue. Purple, blue.
I mean, my God, you came out of the closet.
Those aren't lights. Those are just me. That's just me after Newcom. Those aren't lights. That's just me after Newcom.
I'm so impressed.
All right, guys. Well, sorry, David, when I popped my head before, says, what are you doing here? Which I obviously come to say, hey, time's up. Well, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to say time's up.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. We got more people showing up there in panels, but I wanted to thank you all. David, I'll let you close it up. But Mo, thank you so much. Thank you for all the great work that you're doing, for your kind words as well. Very grateful. Jim, thank you. I know we're going to be talking to you later on this afternoon. So excited about that. Doria, te quiero. Thank you very much, darling, for everything you bring. Isabel, thank you for making David look so great, because he does, thank you. He looks good. He looks good thanks to you. I know that. Even the purple aura. And David, thank you so much.
He actually did set up the lights. So yeah.
We know.
No, that was the perfect wrap up. We don't need any more. I know we're going to be talking to all of you again real soon. Don't forget the Neuroscience Summit with the Los Angeles Tribune, nsciencesummit.com. Yep, Jim Poole will be up later on. Yeah, just nothing but good stuff here.
Yeah, there's the link again for the free pass to the Neuroscience if you want to get it.
Jim will be speaking there as well. So, all right, great.
Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye, Jim. Bye.
Aloha.
Aloha. Okay, so here we are. What a great panel. What a very, very passionate panelist there. I think I may have gone over the top. But anyway, listen, thank you so much. We're just a couple of minutes and we got another great guest speakers that are going to be joining us. Thank you so much.
The Inspiring People interview series is a collection of exclusive interviews sure to inspire and motivate you. I'm Bernardo Moya, the founder and Chief Inspirational Officer of The Best You. And in this series of interviews, I'm in conversation with industry leaders, thought leaders, self-made millionaires, Olympians, and global sports personalities, the influencers of today's world. I find out about their start in life, their early days, their rise to success, and both the good and the bad times. We discuss their opinions on education, business, money, and just how to be happier. Join us to find out more about these fascinating and inspiring people.
My passion is to set people free by helping you transform any area of your life more effectively and faster than anything you've tried before. I do this by unique abilities gifted to me through 2 near-death experiences that allow me to help you change your frequency, changing your life. But there's hundreds of thousands of people that are already living this way. It's been a proven method, and now I'm going to share it with you. So I'll see you on the Moss Experience.